unapologetically eccentric. That's your description.
No, it's not. I'm
Of course it
simple.
is.
I am eccentric. Apology is not even in my universe.
True that, actually. When it comes to you, it's not that simple.
No, it's not.
Like when it comes to the future, it's not so simple.
No, future can't be simple, no.
Well, it is actually. It's inevitable.
Yeah, but you will never see your future. By the time you see it, it will be your present. How is this simple?
That's really complicating things. Let's just keep things simple out here because we are at Simple Energy. You are at Meet the Leaders, and yes, we never really went anywhere, but we're back. And what we're looking at is a very simple spec sheet.
Complication, we've not written that spec sheet yet. So
You can't write spec sheets.
you can't write spec sheets. But we are meeting is a person who is the founder of this company,
Yeah.
Suhas.
Yeah.
He's 26. So here's
26
an
years old.
easy question.
Yeah.
What happens when Suhas turns 31?
That's not so complicated. The market clears out, only the real players are remaining, and yeah.
And what this company is hoping for is that in that kind of time period, Simple has won.
Oh God, Shumi some.
But no, it begins here with a dream. And now, let's go meet the head dreamer.
I've been waiting for this day ever since Shumi came back to office saying he saw a simple scooter today, so you begin. But I believe, and I've been doing some homework, in fact, here's my at the age of 21 is when you started Simple Energy?
Yeah.
You are 26.
Yeah.
What's the status today?
So a lot of changes in design, a lot of changes in performance, efficiencies, and overall packaging. Now, when the customers actually get the product, they'll get a better product than what they saw in the launch. Just not on the range or the performance, but entire looks of it.
Why did you wait till 21 to start the company? Why didn't you do it earlier?
Before that, I had a couple of startups which I was figuring out to run. First startup was, of course, being designer. I started a design studio with a couple of my batchmates.
Is it simple to run a business?
It is not.
It's not.
It's not.
Is
It's very
it
complex.
simple to have an EV scooter out?
It is.
Is it really?
I don't know, yeah. This sounds conflicting
Because
to me.
there are just so many of them.
Yeah.
How do you distinguish yourself from the other EV products that are going to be flooding the market?
It's built from scratch.
Built from scratch?
For India.
Built in India?
Actually,
For
why didn't
India.
you keep it simple and just get something from China and sell it like all the other guys are doing?
Because that is not how technology is built. You need to understand what exactly Indian consumer needs, what exactly is lacking, put up the puzzles, get it done. Basically, because Chinese scooters have been here since 14 years. None of them have been able to, give you that outcome that people are desiring. They don't understand the use case here, right? The kind of terrain that we operate in, climate. So to build an Indian product, you need an Indian to build it. I come from a middle class background, so I clearly understand, or I think I understand, or we understand that Indians need something out of the box. Chinese scooters will run out of battery in 6 months, no performance, right? And safety is one more concern. So you need to build things from block. To change two things, one is automobile industry as a whole, where we go from R&D, assemble and sell, rather than assemble and sell. And second is to build hardware industry in India.
You have an R&D department.
Yeah.
In this very office? This is
Yes.
a very beautiful office.
Thank you.
You are an architect
Yeah.
and a designer, so
Yeah.
it's safe to assume that you have designed this office, including the motto there, be the change.
Yes,
And-
because that is where it started.
Yeah. You want to ask your
It has to become.
These are my questions.
Let me answer now. So it's actually good to have an R&D space because you get to know the nerve of the vehicle. So it's not very common for companies to have R&D centers here.
Yeah.
Also because our experience is testing centers are very limited in India, which clearly states that there is no R&D DNA here.
And you think that it's a bit of a blind spot on the part of the nascent EV industry?
It is, because you cannot build a 30-year, 40-year business basis on imports. You will have to build some DNA inside your organization to build something this complex, which understands the market, speaks for safety, speaks for performance, speaks for value for money.
See, this is what I was saying. Energy is not simple.
I think he would beg to differ. Because
Yeah.
Yeah.
Energy is simple.
How? You look at how much work you've had to do.
But that is, end is, to understand is simple. The work is obviously complex.
See? Energy is not simple.
All right, you have it your way. Is being Indian in the DNA of Simple Energy?
It is. The product is 99% localized. India has to be the story for EVs. And India definitely has that, talent, that foresight that you can build things here and you can then start exporting it. Simple is not just for India, but which can be sold anywhere.
But let me ask you this. So you come out of design school, right?
It's design school,
and
yeah.
say you mess around with villas and row houses for a while. Where did the scooter thing happen to you?
Actually, I'm an auto buff. Everything that moves on wheels, catch my attention. So that was from my young age.
Okay.
My dad also loves bikes. Design because I wanted to explore. I never wanted to pursue architecture. I wanted to just see what happens in design. And I had a startup in robotics just before Simple.
Okay.
That was an 8 months endeavor which I did, where I was very much familiar with how to build a BMS. So we just try that. And I learned two things about what exactly is to build something from ground up and how much of an impact it can have. And that's where I understood lithium-ion, early 2015-16. And now my dad made a entry here where he said, I want to buy a scooter. I told him, buy an EV. He said, no, I want to travel seamlessly.
Right.
Petrol scooter can give me 200 kilometer range.
Correct.
Your scooter will not give me 40 also. Why buy an EV? That's when I thought, okay, now this is a problem of psychology. You need to incentivize people to shift to EVs.
Right.
And that's where the Be the Change comes in. Right. So I started building for myself first. I thought, what will I buy when I go out there? What will my dad buy? There's a problem. There are n number of solutions, right? But what is the right solution is the point.
Correct.
That is where we come into picture.
This amount of logical thinking, to be honest, is baffling for me because you're just 26. When I was 26, I know this interview is not about me, but when I was 26, I'm sure you don't even remember what happened to you when you were 26, but when I was 26, and I'll come to the point, were you always a brilliant student in your school?
No, I was an average.
And did you ever fail?
No, I never failed in studies.
What have you failed
specify? Yeah.
4 startups before Simple.
The failures, how did they contribute to how you think about Simple Energy today?
Critical thinking, building a team, not deviating. And of course, understanding how to raise funds and what exactly goes into building a particular org structure so that efficiency after that is the top line. You cannot have unmotivated, directionless people working for you because your job is to lay out the foundation. The team will start building on it. So that's where I was clear that my job is only this much, not micromanagement, because that is, the experts are there.
Right.
They're brilliant at it. Be the dumbest guy in the room and listen from the smartest people. They'll tell what to do based on your vision and mission.
Yeah.
They'll solve the problem for you. You go out there and tell people this problem is actually feasible comparatively and not competitively so that people can understand with logic. So try to sell with logic rather than with muska and...
Sorry, the point that caught my attention was not deviate.
Yeah.
Is something that you learned from...
Yeah. So we spent 4.5 years almost now. So it was very easy for us to deviate, say why build a scooter with 200 kilometers of range? What is the point? You could have built 80 kilometers or 70 kilometers and still be out there faster. So if you want to build something very, very particular, you'll have to be very streamlined, focused and ignore the noise.
So you're effectively saying deviation as a way of keeping it simple.
No, can I ask my question here if you're done asking questions?
Yes, your question.
You see, you're supposed to base questions on that, what he's saying. And a large part of our audience is very young, much like myself, yourself.
And not me.
And a large part of audience watches this Meet the Leaders property because, they aspire to be someone like you. And they want to learn a few things from you. When you said critical thinking, what is critical thinking in MBA books or in life?
Critical thinking is going back to basics.
Back to basics.
Do you see the new generation natively doing critical thinking, and can you give them tips as to how to inculcate that idea into their
Yeah, he's going to
process?
answer that right after he's done answering my question, which and you're saying back to basics, and then you can come to whether young
say if you build something, right, you have basic principles laid out, right? You build on those principles. So most of the time people think that we can cross those principles and build something. Actually, your problem statement and your solution statement has to be linked with basics, because basics give you clarity. The macro view of your life or your problem statement comes from basics.
I certainly understood it.
Yeah, it's clear.
What I'm going to do is fire up my list of questions.
Alright.
I'm not quite sure whether you have done any homework before coming here, but I certainly did, and I have a lot of questions.
Come on, ask it now.
Yes.
We both have to start starting about TVs.
No, just hang on.
Some distracting. Ask the question.
Yeah.
You also said building a team.
Yeah.
That's very important. I kind of understand that, I'm not quite sure whether I understand it completely, but that's why I team up with him. A great team is very important. What goes on as a thought process when it comes to building a team?
Motivation.
When I was walking around in your office, there were small, beautiful people, which are young people. It's a very dynamic
Yeah, dynamic.
environment here.
Yeah, very much. Very
So-
competitive also.
How do you build a team? What are the qualities you look for in a person? I mean, do I currently look like a person that you would hire, or does he look like a person that you would hire?
I'm too old.
No,
Yeah.
but
He says, yeah.
but his R&D team must be old.
So when we hire people, the first question we ask them, why Simple and why not any other company first, right? Second, are you here to innovate or are you here to just follow instructions? If both the answers are uniquely positioned, then we evaluate their characteristics. Degrees, skill sets, they are there, they're qualifying you to come to an interview, but they're not something that will get you a job. If I can look at someone and say that he can replace me,
Yeah.
that is the guy I want. Because I'm looking at my replacement every day. Because I want someone 10 times more passionate than I am, 10 times more passionate than my other co-founders, 10 times more passionate than my entire core team and the entire 270 people that are sitting here. Otherwise, you'll not be building good things, you'll be building basic things, mediocre things.
Mediocrity is not a part of Simple Energy.
No, never.
So I have another question, which is about Simple Energy. What is life in Simple like? What does your day look like? What time do you wake up? And what time does the day end?
It begins at 9:30.
Oh, okay, okay.
9:30 we come in, we have every stand meeting at 10:30. Then we have a 12:30 internal founders meeting. 3 o'clock we have supply chain meeting. After that, couple of calls here and there. Then at 5 to 7, I join the VD team, the Vehicle Dynamics team, to go on a spin on Simple One. Interact with them, what better can we do on Dynamics. And then 8 o'clock we cut off. Again we sit, understanding how the day was for the build team, and then call it off at 9:30. Then from 9:30 to 12:30 we have a couple of strategy meetings with our...
At 9:30 p.m. to 12:30 a.m.
Yeah,
you have strategy meetings.
Yeah.
That late in the day you have strategy.
yeah.
Are you married?
No,
Do you have kids?
no.
That's why I can afford to have so many meetings in the day.
Yeah.
Oh, he's so happy about it, and he's married to Simple Energy. It's
Yeah.
clear. It's very... That's impressive. But the fact that I love, and my homework has been so thorough, the fact that I love, to build upon your fact, is that you've had no marketing but over 55,000 bookings.
Yeah.
How does that happen? No marketing. I mean, we are here to help if you need any sort of good assistance when it comes to vehicle dynamics. Is India's one of most
Definitely.
noted.
Did you just compliment me?
No, I'm actually trying to...
Stressed.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
You have done your homework.
That's the first compliment in the last 2 hours.
No, he's the best boss I've
2
ever
other
had.
3, yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Really?
You're a great team builder. I mean, you hired me. I mean,
Yeah.
I cannot pay you a bigger compliment than that.
Thank you. Thank you. It really means a lot.
That's basically a compliment to you.
Of course it is.
Can we get to my answer?
Yes,
Yeah.
please.
It is true. We have spent a 0 rupee on marketing.
Are you serious? Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
no,
tremendous.
you'll not see TVC's ads running on
I think in terms of communication, if you think about it, the only money they would have spent is the press conference.
press
itself.
conference. Yeah.
But is that also pressure? Because when you turn around after the press conference the next morning, you open the bookings, 1947 rupees and all of that. And then suddenly there's like 55,000 people who've paid.
Honestly, yes, because I expected only 5,000 bookings coming in.
And you got 55,000.
Yeah, 55,000. Because see, marketing, we had no spend on marketing. Product will sell itself. Word of mouth and the product will sell itself. Built for what people really need it. People know how to buy it. You would definitely recommend a product for your friend if you like it, right?
Yeah.
If you don't like it, then what's the point building it? So what's the point building something that you have to spend millions of dollars on marketing?
Okay, so now you've spent what, 4.5, 5 years
Yeah.
setting up Simple. You are, I think, on the cusp of opening the plant and starting regular production.
Yes.
What are the challenges that part of the process brings for you?
First is building the team. That is the biggest challenge because talent is new. I mean, this industry is new, so talent relatively is scarce. Apart from that, supply chain is one concern. Getting yourself to understand the entire function of the industry, managing your 100 plus vendors, your factory build, your entire system integration internally, and getting the product right, which can match the life that it is supposed to go on. So all this integration is a challenge. Apart from that, a lot of things come in building the company's vision for next 15 years.
Right.
Because
15 years.
yeah, Because the team needs to understand what happens after simple one.
Right.
Because when you don't understand that, then you'll build something that is going to be used only in simple one.
Right.
What will the company do after simple one? Can we use the same tech in some other form factor?
Mark 2.
Simple 2.
There'll be upgrades on, sure, but the team needs to know if they're building something, they have to build it for next 3 products, just not one product.
Right.
So that's where our vision and strategy meetings happen.
Right.
So team knows what to build.
It's pretty nice. I mean, 1 and 2 are also the simplicity of thinking
Yeah.
is reflecting in the products and their names.
No, I think they should build a really fast, fantastic motorcycle called the complex one.
Building multiple form factors is exciting because, see, you tend to get bored after some time of particular things.
Simple 1, Simple 2. What are your future expansion plans? Is this the first office?
This is the third office.
Third office. And you have another office somewhere close by then?
Yeah, that's a 25,000 square feet lab. It has world-class facilities there.
Look at that, look at
You know, a lot of equipments that we play around with.
Not many have.
Not many have. I mean, we have every single thing that is required there. Actually, we had to build this lab. We decided to, invest in a lab which will give us flexibility to develop more products going forward.
And so your expansion plans include?
A lot of R&D. Our maximum expense will be in R&D.
Yeah. Why are you building your own motor?
Okay, there are 3 reasons. Packaging is one, to fit extra battery pack. Second is performance, because we needed at wheel 230 Newton meters of torque.
Right.
So you need that kick come in. And we can build on this motor and build multiple motors which are more efficient, which are performance oriented.
You're also working on cells for yourself.
See, EV is about energy storage, right? How can you build an efficient energy storage system?
Right.
Rest everything is figured out, 100 years of evolution.
Right.
So we want to control and understand the deepest of these things. It's a base that we're building. It's an R&D, as I said, is our primary focus.
Would there figure a 4-wheeler EV in your 15 years vision?
Yeah, simple is not about particular form factor, simple is about automobiles.
A lot of the cynics say that the EVs aren't as clean as you think because mining lithium is a problem.
It is very important for people to understand that lithium can be recycled and it has to be recycled.
Okay.
Our battery pack can be reused, the cells can be removed and not thrown away, and we can recycle. We have a system internally and we're building a business out of that as well for different energy purposes, storage purposes that will happen in the future.
Is R&D the reason why you have a tall claim of 236 kilometers as a range, as your range?
Yes.
Is it just a claim?
It is the truth.
It is the truth.
Yeah.
You did not even bat an eyelid before saying that.
I mean, that's a testing number. I would say companies should come up and say realistic numbers.
So what's your realistic number?
203.
203.
Yeah.
But now you're saying you're going to give an option of a bigger battery pack which
Yeah.
will now give you 300.
Yeah.
Does a scooter need 300 kilometers of range?
A lot of people have this fear that batteries' health will degrade over the period of time. So battery's health is directly related to how you charge it, right? So say you have 80 kilometers of range in a day and you're traveling about 40 kilometers one side and 40 kilometers one side. So every day you're charging. So your charging cycle
You're
is
completing
reduced.
a cycle every day.
Reduced, right?
Yeah.
So cell has a particular cycle. So to elongate that or to delay that, the range comes in. So say if you're traveling 40 kilometers a day, this range will last you 5 days, right? So your charging cycle from 1 day goes to 5 days.
Right.
So your life of the battery increases that many
Effectively
days.
5x.
I get it.
So, and that you don't have to depend on a charging infra also because you can charge it home. So you don't really worry about charging. You're worried about, 5 days mein once I just plug it in, 3 hours it'll charge
And
up.
that is rather good for the battery's health.
It is very good for the battery. Your ownership cost, you don't have to worry after what happens 10 years down the line because the battery will still be there enough to, charge, to take you anywhere you want. So that is where the whole thing came in.
Does
for
this
us.
improve the safety quotient of the battery?
It will
also?
definitely, because if you're charging fast charging definitely is not recommended. It is an option which consumers have to choose from. That's our responsibility to give that because that is one that consumers really want.
Sure.
But ideally, I feel longer range eliminates the fact that you need fast charging. OEMs are already worried about the fact that people are fast charging because it will start degrading batteries faster.
Right.
So, but that is an option. See, if you charge it, like for example, 15 days once you fast charge, nothing happens to the battery.
Sure.
Yeah, it's your
But if you're charging every day, it'll become a problem.
It can't be a primary method of
It
charging
cannot
with
be.
the current battery
It cannot
technology
be
the way it is.
because the form factor is so small. It is compact. It is so densely compact.
Right.
it has a risk of thermal runaways.
Is that why the scooters catch fire in the future?
No, that is not the primary reason. It can be one of the
Can
reasons.
be one of the reasons.
Yeah.
What do you think is the primary reason why EVs are catching fire?
Because there's not enough fail-safe systems inside them. Your BMS is not a fail-safe system. Your BMS is a monitoring system, right? It is one of this. It cannot be this, right? So what happens? Every system has its own limitations. So if a battery pack is packed in a loosely way of doing it, and it doesn't have enough thermal efficiency on the system, I mean the entire pack, then what happens is you're increasing temperature internally.
Right.
You don't have, say, there's no pressure valve. I don't know why a lot of people don't have pressure valve. Pressure valve is a basic thing to release the heat, the gases that form inside the battery over the period of time. It needs timely correction there. How do you isolate a cell? How do you isolate the entire system itself when it starts failing? So 1 fails, 2 fails, 3 fails, 4 fails, 5th fail. By the time it reaches 5th fail, you have enough time to repair it. Right. So you need to see, you cannot really address the fact that I'm going to be 100% safe. You have to be 99.9% safe.
Right.
You need to give system advantage that it can fail.
Are you worried about the competition?
No.
Not.
Why worry about competition? Worry about your own self, because you can break or make things.
Are you worried about arrogant, rude Indian auto journalists?
Not really, because they ask right questions.
Also because he knows all the answers.
That's, what I'm liking about this means that the way he's speaking is so relatable. It's also simple. That I'm understanding a whole lot and I'm learning a lot of new things. I think I'm going to speak on the viewers' behalf.
Discuss this in the middle of the interview.
No, I'm going to speak on the viewers' behalf here. What was your seed fund round like?
We developed Mark 1. It was a concept vehicle, which did around 160 kilometers of range.
Oh.
Then it got upgraded. Then we did a 233 kilometer range on that. So that was there. The validation was there. That's where the first seed investors came in and contributed the much needed capital.
So a PowerPoint is not a great place to start getting your money. You should do something else.
We raised the first fund in 100 square feet. I was in a t-shirt, 3 people with me who were there. Mark 1 was there. We went on a test ride. Like, wow, like hand over, that's it.
They give you the check?
Yeah, they gave you the check.
Right there.
So you became rich immediately?
Just kidding. Actually, they wrote it. No one's going to give you the check just like that. There's a lot of due diligence that happens. It's not that simple to be raising money. And actually, this was a question really for our audience here.
So but this is a very interesting question for me because I want to get rich fast, right?
Yeah.
So as soon as you've done this basic work and they give you seed fund, now you can go and buy yourself a large fancy car.
No.
Why?
Nothing you can buy.
Why not?
You get a salary, very basic. That too if you want.
If you want means what?
Yeah, you have to put in money into a company. Why you need a salary?
Right, got it. Okay.
The investor is going to come invest in the product, not in the person.
Yeah.
My work is only
on the
beginning.
paper you're rich. Your valuation increases.
I have not interest in entering the EV scooter space by myself.
Yeah.
You cannot spend money on your fancy things.
No, because all I want to do is spend money on myself. I don't want to spend money
You have no
on
interest in
anything
getting rich anyways.
Yeah, build things.
You do?
Build things.
Building things is the important
Yeah,
thing.
man, that's satisfaction that you get. Wow. I think.
Okay, let's go back to talking about where Simple is at right now. So you're going to start production now, and I think by September, October, something like that, you'll be delivering the first Simple ones. You've also now created a second variant with a larger battery pack.
Optional battery pack, basically. So we did a survey where around 10,000 people participated. 48% voted for 300 kilometer range.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Already pre-booked customers, I'm saying.
So you're listening to your customers and already taking measures to...
Yeah.
When will the deliveries begin?
So we are planning to start in September.
September this year?
Yeah. Actually, the system works pretty much with dealers, but for customer, it is online. It's a hybrid model.
Right.
And we want to scale to as much of cities as possible because a lot of people cannot wait for dealerships to reach there.
Sure.
So we have delivery partners who can deliver any pin codes of India right now. And by the time the dealership arrives, we'll be continuing doing that. Once the dealership arrives, he'll start doing that for us.
Understood. Okay.
You have 2 factories to be meeting the demand. Is that correct?
1 factory currently. Second factory will come by the end of 2023.
Are you a patient person?
Very.
So this fact that there are these kind of timelines in play where, for example, the factory will take 8 months to set up and all, this doesn't really bother you?
No, because the point is, you build small, you fail fast, you learn, you can build big.
Right.
That's the analogy, right?
Patience is a virtue, Shumi.
I'm beginning to discover it. The older I get, the more patient I'm becoming.
Yeah, you have to be patient with.
The more wisdom you have, the more patient you are.
I have no wisdom at all. Yeah.
Oh, that's okay. That's why you're impatient. I think you just.
But I'm really impatient about the fact of building the product because I'm very excited. The strategy part, I'm very cool.
Your first job interview, you were this confident?
No.
And how did you build confidence?
By telling myself that if you address the problem rightly, you can solve it rightly.
And then you had the experience of being correct, and that's how confidence.
No, I had the experience of failing.
Once again.
So I know how to fail.
So failure is critical to success.
Yeah, without failure, you cannot learn humility. You cannot get confidence.
Do you have any inspirations?
So Henry Ford addressed something that people didn't want to, of building cheaper cars. Then comes Steve Jobs. He thought perfection in terms of design. These are two very fundamental people.
To you as an automotive enthusiast, what is the most iconic car design ever, and what is the most iconic motorcycle two-wheeler design ever, apart from your product?
Car design has to be Mustang 1964 and MV Agusta.
What do you own?
KTM Duke 390.
Wow.
What I learned from Duke 390 when it launched in 2012-13, I guess, that you can build something so compact at a good price point.
Of the two here, Shumi and myself, who would you like to hire?
None of you.
It's very critical.
What? He said none of you.
None.
Yeah.
None?
Yeah, because you're not old enough and I'm too old.
Let's make the questions tough. Yeah?
I'll tell you the reason.
Yes, please.
Because
him I understand, but
he's impatient. He won't let me finish.
I told you patience is a virtue. Thank you, Suhas.
And you already know everything.
If you were to do the same 5-year trip with Simple again, from scratch, what would you change?
Fire faster, hire better.
Do you really mean this?
Yeah. You cannot really work with people who don't want to work with you.
Yeah, sure.
Forget about us. They don't want to work with the vision.
The vision, yeah.
People might have problems with me. Right? Everyone has problems with managers, their colleagues, etc. But if they're glued to the vision, they really want to do it. And if they're away from the vision, what's the point keeping them? Rather tell them to find something they love. And at the same time, fire people who are inefficient because they'll spoil everyone else's efficiency.
Watch out, everyone. You now are getting a glimpse of how leaders think. Rapid fire, everyone. Yeah.
Ready? Go.
Yeah, ready, steady. 3, 2, 1, go. Looks or performance?
Performance.
Books or movies?
Movies.
Design or engineering?
Cars or motorcycles? No, wait.
Okay, wait. Good
Cars
question.
or motorcycles?
Both.
Shumi or Rohan?
No, wait.
Come
You
on,
can't have
please
both.
give it to
Yeah,
me,
what is
please.
cars and motorcycles both?
Both? Yeah.
Cars.
Motorcycles and scooters.
Okay.
Scooters.
Can we slow down the rapid fire questions here? He said cars, by the way. Shumi or Rohan?
Both of you is okay?
All right. But it was cars, so it's me.
Design or engineering?
Design.
Form or function?
Function.
Ship today or perfect and deal with
Perfect and
it?
ship faster. We'll have to start telling people that we're there. By giving them the taste of what we built.
He really has answered them so fast that I'm out of all the rapid fire questions. This has been one of the most special Meet the Leaders episode for me because of the simplicity of it. Yes. And I'm not, let the viewers be the judge. Let us know in the comment section below. What did you think of Suhas? What do you make of his value system? And what do you make of the product, of course? I think we are nearing the end of this episode.
I think we met you at the press conference, was the last time I met you.
A pleasure meeting you.
We were really excited about what you promised with that product. Now, 8 months later, I think we are about to see the test ride vehicles come, and then the customers, people like you, will be able to buy these products. And I think I'm really excited because what you're saying, what you're doing, all of that is coming together in a direction which I am really excited about.
Yeah. I had no idea about you. I had never met you in person. I had not seen your motorcycle like he did. And the question that I had asked him yesterday evening, I'll be very honest, was I need you to tell me, how are these folks, right? It's the Simple Energy folks. And he said, to be honest, these are some of the most brilliant people I have met in the EV world. And for good words to come out of his mouth, I'll tell you what.
It's very rare.
It's very rare.
I know.
Yeah. And good people, I think fundamentally they got the basics right. Don't change. It's wonderful to see Indian ingenuity, Indian entrepreneurs like yourself at this young age of 26. I mean, you've got to be also telling people how to do it. We'll come back to you again asking those questions.
Absolutely.
But thank you for inspiring so many of us.
Thank you for taking your time and coming over and actually talking about Be the Change.
This was an epic interview, I think.
Epic, yeah.
Thank you so much for this.
Thank you so much.